The album is out February 6th on Alive Natural Sounds Records. The people who, order the vinyl should get it first. Let's go. I like that. You're a free bird, It's so hooky. It's such a good song, man. And it's an instant classic.
You're just going to hope you make some money at the door. That's what we're dealing with in America right now.
A lot of these bands are getting bigger. So it's going to be a bigger share of the pie, I think, in 2026 and moving forward.
Here's a fucking blues album. You don't got to, people would listen to us like, what are they, soul? Are they,
right?
Like, are they blues? Are they heavy? Because we kind of have a little bit of all of that in our back catalog.
It's dirty blues. It's rock and roll. It's, pretty standard Handsome Jack. But yeah, it is very focused too.
It's unique enough where it's kind of our own thing, but it still pays tribute to the original version. So
yeah,
stick another cover out there. It gets more people listening to our original stuff. It's not a bad thing,
But it speaks for itself.
Yeah, we're basically like Van Halen now. We like what we like. We're not gonna do anything new ever again. Once you hear it recorded, just how it sounds sometimes I'm like, this just doesn't sound right, or there's a couple too many syllables or something. You're like, it's just not flowing like it's supposed to, or whatever.
I love a deep recording where there's something weird going on in the background, Right. It's always pretty cool.
Because you want to do something that people know and love, but you also don't want to say the same thing that's been said. So
I woke up this morning and I was like, we're not doing it. I woke up this morning. Right. Let's do something else. Like, it can't be that.
Well, that was a little tricky. We weren't sure what the album was going to be called.
Until the last second.
You really burn a barn down?
We burned it down, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we got
He's good friends with this artist named William Stout. And he's been around since the 60s and 70s, and he did really cool poster art for Zeppelin shows and like The Who. And he's also really well known for doing like sci-fi. Yeah, like Joe was saying, it's just, okay, let's make a song about, just having this rager party out in the woods, a band playing in the barn, Back when we were in high school, a buddy of ours, Pete Frischholtz, his grandfather he lived on a farm, and we would go out there and, they'd have a keg and a bonfire in the woods. Well, kind of funny, I guess, maybe where the original idea came from for just that like chorus line, and the title of the song was down at the local dive bar, like right across the street. The well-known infamous bartender down there, everyone knows him as Turbo. We're all just struggling, poor musicians, and so that one,
we're cheap because we're poor.
Yeah. So I guess the premise is, you have to dump your girlfriend because, but you're like blaming it on, the economy and whatnot. So it's kind of like tongue in cheek and just rolling with the, hey, it's only business,
At the end of the night, you got to settle up and somebody's trying to fuck you over, There's a lot of bullshit out there. And as we move into 2026, there's a lot of fake bands now.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talking about it on a previous podcast, like a few weeks ago, and it's, what are we going to do? I'm drawing a line in the sand for sure. But I think the good news again is I think the underground's going to swell because of this over the next couple years.
I mean, there's his first few albums pretty well, and it's just a swampy country funk,
Thank God for Dan Auerbach too, man. He's been carrying that torch his whole career too. So this older gentleman shows up, he just sits down at the table and he's like, were you at the show the other night? I think the Black Keys had played at the Agora. Dan's out there in Nashville just, carrying the torch. Delta Cream was their blues cover album they did a few years back, and it's just their old school influences.
Every like Fleabag motel just has like falls in the title. So I was just like, when we were trying to come up for a name for the album, actually, I was like, saw this motel and I was like, oh, that would be a great album name. Cable TV and just like rent by the hour. So it's just kind of like everybody can relate.
Everywhere you get out of the cities, you're like, whoa, like where are we? I like one riff songs. They can be really cool.
All the songs on this record are super, just really simple and, no guitar overdubs and just really straightforward.
It's just such a beautiful piece of music, man. It really is. And it's so easy to listen to. It goes so fast. It's so good. It actually puts me into a trance. And then before I know it, it's over.
But sometimes after a while, somebody might be like, oh, actually, I'm a polygamist. And then that means that they'll date lots of, have lots of boyfriends at the same time.
It was the weirdest time ever in my life. Like everybody was so antisocial.
Yes, God.
It was a little bit different for us where we just wanted to do something really up tempo, kind of manic feeling, and turned out really fun.
We always try to write more than we need, and just so we're not doing, you know,
not desperate for
the bare minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, we're pretty good at just kind of junking songs when they need to be junked. We're going to wait till one of us passes away, though, so that we can really capitalize.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So that way we can really capitalize off the dead one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. It's like Dwayne Allman. You're talking about the same one.
Yeah, could be.
That's the 10 songs, man. They're all, like you said, Barnburners. You killed it with the title because everything is awesome.
Yeah, our friend Nate Chateau, he's the one that has like the vision for all the videos, and he's really passionate about film and acting and stuff.
We'll play your backyard, we'll play your basement, we'll play whatever you want.
2026 is going to be awesome for rock and roll. There's a lot of great records coming out, a lot of good tours.